Kentucky Wildcats is on the brisk or on the cusp of going to Alabama in just over 24 hours. And the task at hand that these guys are up against, to say it's enormous is probably an understatement because Alabama has lost their last two games to Auburn and to Missouri, both on the road. And now that these guys are back home, there's no way in this rematch of where they beat us by 5 points at Rupp Arena. There's no way that these guys want to go 0-3 in their last three ball games. Kentucky's coming in. It's no secret. We know we're not healthy. We know we're not going to have Lamont. We know we're not going to have Robinson. And there's no way they want to take advantage of that, of us being injured. And they don't want us to come in. Look, I don't know. I don't keep up with Alabama basketball like that. So I don't know when Alabama, especially under Coach Nate Oates, has had a 3-game losing streak. But I got a feeling they don't want it to start tomorrow. So these guys are going to come out. So what's it going to take, in your opinion, for Kentucky to get it together and go down to Alabama and steal a win from from Crimson Tide in their house? It's going to take a couple of things. First of all, we went we shot 100% from free throws in our last ball game against Vandy. Can we hit our free throws? Every chance we get to get free points, especially at the free throw line, we got to take advantage of every single chance we get. We got to rebound. Rebound has been something that has just not been the best for us. The bright spot of that is Amari Williams is really becoming a SEC big man right before our eyes. That has been a thrill to watch. We wasn't really sure who he was going to be, even almost mid-season. We didn't know who he was going to be. But the last few games, Amari just showed up, and he's just been playing out of his mind. So that's something that we definitely going to need. Carr is going to have to look, I know Carr's back is hurting, and I know that's not the ideal place to want to go play at, and your back is not right. But we're going to need Carr to step up in an enormous way against Alabama on the road. Kobe Brea, he's kind of been in and out. When he's hot, he's hot. But when he's not, he's just like he's a no-show. So we definitely going to need him to step up tomorrow and give us about anywhere from 10 to 14 points. Ansley, we think he's getting the ball. We know that he has his high percent 3-point shots that he takes every single ball game. Can we get the ball to him in the corner? Can he make about maybe 3 to 4 threes tomorrow night against Alabama? I really believe that he can, that he has it in him. And then, we're going to need Garrison to come off the bench. And we're going to need Garrison to get some rebounds tomorrow. Garrison's going to have to play. He's going to have to be freakish good tomorrow night in order to help us beat Alabama at their house. Garrison, you can't take a night off tomorrow. Tomorrow's not that day that we need you to shoot threes. We know that you average about 1.5, 2 threes a ball game this year, hitting, one at least. But if that's not your game tomorrow night, please try to just play up out of your game, up out of your position. Stay within the game plan of what we're trying to get done, and just be out there. Look, we're gonna call up on our 3 freshmen tomorrow night. We know that Chandler had a very good coming out game against Vandy, but sorry to say, but Vandy's not Alabama, or more so, Alabama's not Vandy. And it's going to be a lot more tougher than that. And that's no shade on Vandy, but it's just who it is. Alabama's a team who they are projecting to be a number 1 seed this year, rightfully so. These guys are good. And for Kentucky to go on the road and be able to get a win at Alabama, man, I'm talking about, look, we got some quad 1 wins this year, but to go into a house like that and get a quad 1 win, that's huge. Because we beat Gonzaga on the neutral court somewhat. We beat Duke on a neutral court. So can we go on the road and can we get this W? And like I said about our 3 freshmen, Noah, can he be Mountain Mama tomorrow? Can he be big? Can he hit the board for us when he's in? Can he knock down about one or two threes tomorrow night? You got Chandler, you got Perry, who's definitely going to get some good playing time tomorrow without the absence of Jackson and Butler. What kind of pressure is he going to be up under? I know he went to Texas, and I know he got a lot of playing time against Texas, but unfortunately, Texas is not Alabama. And, Alabama's a lot tougher than those guys are. And, Alabama's coming off, like I said, this 2-game lose streak. And these guys, they don't want to go 0-3 in their last ball games. And Kentucky's the only thing that's standing in the way of making that happen. So I have to wonder, is our Cats really ready? Or who's really gonna have the breakout game? I haven't even talked about Taker. You know, we know Taker's gonna come out and he at least gonna give us a double figures in numbers tomorrow. So I don't think it's something that we have to worry about with him. He's definitely the most consistent player in the SEC when it comes to scoring. So I know he's going to come to play. Will he stay in the game plan? Will Brayer not do enough to make him feel like he's got to take extra shots? Will he find an open man in the corner if he has to, or will he try to take over the game? I think it all just depends on what's going on in the game itself when he has the ball in his hands. You know, playing a team like Alabama, like these guys are going to be fired up. Mark Sears almost came back and beat Missouri. Missouri was just too much for those guys down the stretch. But Mark Spears, you know, they didn't lose because he didn't play ball. It was his other counterparts who wasn't playing basketball. So if you think Mark Spears is going to want to lose to Kentucky, this is, you know, and we know that this is his last time ever playing Kentucky, unless we got to see them in the SEC tournament or in March Madness down the road. But other than that, this is his last time playing Kentucky at home. You think he want to remember losing to Kentucky in his last chance? So our Wildcats are definitely going to have to come out playing, and they're going to have to be clicking on all cylinders in order to get this W. But I believe Coach Pope, I believe that his coaching staff understand what's at stake here. Now, if we lose, does that mean that the season's over? If we lose, does that mean that we don't go to March Madness? It doesn't mean any of that. But I tell you what, with the injuries that we got, with what we're up against, if we can go to Alabama and get this, you know, the nation is going to take notice. Like, look, Kentucky's down 2 players. The committee, Kentucky's down 2 players. Everybody's going to just say, hey, man, Kentucky's real, even with the guys they got. And if we can let these guys, if winning the game like this, it gives us a little hope that, hey, we definitely can keep Butler. We definitely can keep Jackson out until they are really, really healthy. That's what a win like this can do to us. It's like, look, we go to Alabama on the road and beat those guys, then we have the comfort. We have the freedom to be able to let these guys really, really get healthy before we bring them back. And even if we don't win this ball game against Alabama, just don't get blown out. You know, don't go down there and get beat by 20 points. Don't go down there and just if we can go in there, we could just take the crowd out of the ball game. I think we're going to be okay. I think everyone's going to be ready. They understand that Alabama just beat them by 5 points, and it took them to score 107 points or whatever it was to beat us. So we didn't lay down. We didn't quit. We didn't just drop out. We didn't throw in the white towel. We stayed in there, and we stayed dedicated to what we was trying to do. We didn't come up with the win, but by God, Alabama knew that it took everything they had in order to beat the Kentucky Wildcats. And I feel like it ain't going to be no difference on the road. The Wildcats is going to show up. The Wildcats is going to be ready to go. And when the Wildcats get in town, watch out, because it's a show, because everyone wants to see the Cats play. Go Cats.